This podcast is brought to you by Media8.
Have you ever seen such chaos?
Can you hear me chewing gum?
Yes.
Okay.
In and out, I can hear it.
In and out, butt stuff.
In and out burger.
One of the best ever.
Oh, I know.
Speaking of that, good evening, everybody, and
speaking of
welcome
butt
to
stuff or
the
speaking
All
of
New
burgers?
Sports Corner. We're starting.
Alright.
This week, when we intro ourselves, we're going to do our favourite food and beverage option as a sporting ground, as well as your thoughts on changing teams mid-season. Okay? Just so you're prepared.
Just to make it easy.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, born ready.
Yeah.
It's quite a great man.
Yeah. As they say in the greats. Yeah, fuck with.
G'day everyone, welcome to Sports Corner this week. My name is Brett McCallum. I have this week decided that what we're going to do is our favourite food and beverage option at a sporting ground and what your thoughts are on changing teams mid-season. So I'm going to get started. My favourite is obviously the local dim sim, has to be steamed, not fried, or a lamb and gravy roll. Big fan of that. And then from a beverage point of view, Madison Square Garden offers the best frozen margaritas on the
seen that
planet.
That's the worst answers I've ever heard.
Well, I'm looking forward to yours then.
Firstly, the blatant drop of Madison Square Garden. Can't just talk about like that. When I was at Madison Square Garden.
No, it's the frozen margie.
Where do you get dim sims?
Hang on. You're the one who goes, when I
What do you mean, where do you get dim sims? Every local sporting ground's got dim sims.
Local. You
That's what I
got,
said, local sporting ground dim sim.
where's Madison Square Garden get a mention then?
Because it's
local.
food and then it's beverage.
It's local if
and
you
they're
live
both
in New
sporting
York.
grounds. Jesus.
We're making this segment
Oh,
very
yeah.
hard.
Okay, who are you then?
Hi, I'm Adam Hollioake, same as last week.
And what's your favourite food and beverage option at a sporting ground?
Mate, I'm a bit suspicious of food at sporting grounds, so I don't go for any protein, so no meat pies or that's a lie. I do have them, but
Un-Australian.
those I do have
Well,
them.
he is
But I
Australian.
try and stick to chips if I can because I feel that there's
You can't
less that
fuck up chips.
can go wrong. I feel like there's less that can go wrong.
And what about beverage?
It's just beer, isn't it?
Just beer?
Can I...
beer or water?
You're obviously a famous athlete.
Of course.
What
And creator and producer.
creator and producer of
Australia's
Australia,
greatest athlete, yeah.
who did the best lunch or tea around the world?
Good question.
Mate, there's only one, and I think any cricketer who has played there will back this up. The Lords, and it
What's
sounds,
the difference?
It's just the effort.
So is it like lobster
The
compared
love,
to a sandwich?
the ladies that are there, they cook you what you want,
Love the ladies.
and it's not.
Oh, you
like-
put an order in.
Well, no, they have a variety of things. But if you were to say, you wouldn't have any of this, or in the mornings you go there, they've got bacon and egg rolls, and if you say you want something, they'll just whip it up for you. So, whereas at the Oval,
I've got to admit, I stole this. There was a question, I think, that We Got the Chocolates asked
yeah,
a couple of the Aussie boys, and they said the same thing. They said, Lords, MCG isn't too bad because they do a dessert option, which most people just give you
I've never thought of this.
a lunch,
No,
a
this
lunch
is a
thing.
really good
like,
question.
a standard, sandwiches, pies or whatever. Whereas,
I'll say back in the day, I mean, that does sound, they've made it sound, but back in the day, there was every ground you had a variety of desserts. And then as my career progressed, they started disappearing. And this
What,
shit.
into your belly? Or
No, the variety of desserts.
okay.
So all
All
of a
healthy
sudden,
stuff, was it?
Powerade and fucking bullshit, salads, and it was just nonsense.
that brings up a funny point, I think. Like, you go to watch these professional athletes at the top of their game compete, and the only thing they serve is shit. Like
At the ground.
at the
Yeah,
burgers,
that's so true,
chips,
isn't
it?
Coke, like ice creams. Like, I've never been to a place where it's like
A salad.
something healthy. Like it just doesn't make.
had
You've
one
been to
in-
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I like they had delicious frozen margaritas.
They did.
Just to name drop a stadium, Allegiant Stadium in Vegas had better margaritas.
They did.
I'm
They
not
weren't frozen. They were just.
I'm not coming back on this podcast. You guys are wankers. It's like,
What were the margaritas like at Lord's?
mate, we didn't. I mean, I think it's obviously different. Probably experience playing in the game. I think obviously we don't. I think the food we get probably wouldn't be as good as what you can probably buy out in the boxes or something. And when I've gone back to Lords as a supporter, and down that nursery end, there's an area where if you go down there, you can see anyone who's anyone, because there's a Moet et Chandon,
the
tent, and they have like lobster rolls, and it's like it's just,
love lobster rolls.
it's not quite Madison Square Garden, mate, but it's
It's Lords.
it's
Better.
Can I piggyback off that? Because
Jeez.
no,
I want to give you a piggyback.
yeah, well, but Queen's Cricket Club here on the Gold Coast has Mel, and Mel makes you any sandwich you want for the luncheon break.
Yeah.
Let's
She's
get her on
absolute,
next
she's
week.
an absolute legend.
And
She's
I
a
have to
local.
say,
Yeah.
whilst I've been impressed with our eloquent answers, we have the doyen of
The canteen
Of
connoisseur.
Canteen.
Connoisseur,
himself.
I know, he's
This is
actually-
the man more qualified than anyone in
We'll
Australia.
saving him up for later.
Oh yeah,
He's got his own segment.
the canteen connoisseur.
yeah.
He's making a comeback
I heard.
this weekend.
So what is it? What's number one for you?
Oh, dim sims. But you have to have soy sauce, because
Yeah.
if you can't spill the soy sauce
All
on the
over your
person-
shirt.
and on the person next to you as you're squeezing it in, then it hasn't happened.
But are you steamed or fried?
Look, I'm a partial to the steamed, because I think the soy sauce actually infiltrates it on
It
better.
doesn't. It
Yeah.
soaks in a bit better.
Yeah, so yeah, you've got to have that. But I like what Adam said too. So I'm a dim sims, with a bucket of chips, and a Coke, no sugar.
Can't get sick from that. Well,
Nah,
the dim
not at all.
sim might get
Well,
you, but
Coke's no
the Coke
sugar.
will fix it on the way out.
Absolutely.
and yeah,
Like, don't invite me to your club unless you got dim sims. It's as simple as that.
Okay, so question number 2, and this is across all sports, is should you be able to change your lineup mid-season?
No.
So Aaron Woods has today has joined the Manly Sea Eagles, right? The fact I'm a big fan of Aaron Woods. I was back in the day when he was like not
Isn't he
38.
like 60? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
but has he played for the?
He played for the Dragons earlier this year, but now he's moved across and they've swapped him for like an 8-year-old in the Mighty Sea Eagles. And I know this happens and you get up to trade periods and all that sort of stuff, but what's your thoughts, Rob?
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah? Does
Well,
it happen
they
in the AFL?
No, not at all. But they are talking about it, a mid-season trade period.
But a trade period's where it's open just for a set period of time, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Because
how's the
EPL has-
NRL work? You can go any stage. Is that the way it works?
I think it's before June 30, from memory.
So what's that going to be around 8 or something?
Halfway.
Mm.
Yeah.
But then I think they can then also play a swap throughout the year too.
Because Harry Grant,
Yeah.
he played at West, was it?
Yep.
It's just crazy if you ask me.
Especially if you've already played. Like, I if you haven't actually played that season, say in first grade, then maybe you get an
Yeah.
opportunity somewhere.
But it's not unusual in other sports. Like basketball, there was a player a few years ago playing in the final, and it didn't matter who won, he was getting a ring.
Oh, because he played for
He
both.
played for both teams during the season.
Yeah, I think they're more cutthroat in the States. Like you've seen videos of guys finding out they've been traded while warming up to play a game, and then they don't play
Or they play for the other team.
because they've been shipped off to another team.
Has that ever happened? Like, not play for one side, and you got to go and change your shirt and play.
Play on the other side. I think it has.
Come on.
Don't know about that.
No, I know.
In
like,
baseball,
in
in
baseball
baseball,
and
someone
stuff.
got traded
Yeah.
at the game, and they said,
Yeah, and they went to the other team, didn't they?
wrong side of the
Wrong
bench, mate. Go to the other bench.
Incredible.
That's a stitch up.
I'm
So-
not sure.
Look, I don't like it, but I mean,
What's the go in cricket?
Well-
like in county cricket
Well,
and
yeah.
stuff?
Well, they've had this for a while. I think it's such a traditional game, isn't it, cricket? And I think we have something called the loan. So it's slightly different. It's not you cannot just go from one county to another county but you can be loaned. So
'Cause football does that too, doesn't it? You can go out on loan.
Yep.
I think soccer in the UK.
maybe that's
Yeah.
probably
Well,
where,
yeah.
well, no doubt
Where it come
cricket-
from.
Yeah, probably because everyone follows the football in England. So
Yeah.
so what it is if you've got a player sitting there in your second team who's not going to play, especially if they're a young player. So in the situation of our side during our sort of really strong era, we had a really good young spinner, and he wasn't going to play because we had Sacklane Mushtaq and the England spinner playing for us. So the kid's not getting a game.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, we'll loan him to another side so he can get some experience. Then
Was he
when-
allowed to play against you guys?
no, he wasn't. There was
Because
some
they
rules.
usually have stipulations.
Yeah,
where
he
You can't play against your
their
team.
Play against us. Yeah. No,
And how's that work? Do you still pay his wages? Like, does your
No.
club still pay, or does they pay his
no,
wages?
they pay. So I think that's the whole idea. Otherwise, you wouldn't loan him, would you? So
Because we've been looking at the baseball here in Australia, and what happens is the US clubs, tell me if I'm wrong here, they lend.
Wrong.
Thanks. I believe they lend or they give players to the Australian, but they still pay their wages. So pretty much the Australian club then doesn't have to fork out the cash because they're sending them here for the experience and
but
stuff
that's a
like
different
that.
league, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
different
it.
league.
I think that's
Yeah,
probably
Well,
the.
they do things really strange in baseball.
But yeah, I suppose it's a different league. You're not going to play against the same team, mate.
Yeah. So I guess if you're in the same league, you're competing against them professionally and financially, I guess, as well, in some sort of way. So
Yeah, surely that could open things up from a gambling point of view as well. Is that a chopper?
Yep.
I think
To the chopper. Sorry. So we're saying no, we don't agree?
Not for Australian sport. I don't think we're big enough.
When you first said that, I thought you meant like fans.
Yeah, so
changing
did I. I
teams.
thought never
I'm
change
like,
your team
It's
at
all
all.
Yeah.
fucking no. Like mid-season, end of season, there's no.
Ever.
Yeah.
Well, I
You're
was
a
going to say that, but I changed countries like halfway through mine.
Yeah, you're a fucking turncoat.
There's a name for them, isn't there?
Yeah.
Judas.
It rhymes with bunt.
Oh, wow.
Oh dear.
There we go. Things just
We're
took
talking
a
about
turn.
we're talking about baseball again.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said bunt.
Love it.
Big shout out to our sponsors, Official Beer, coming off the kegs this week, which is exciting. Platinum Standard Grading, local card shop, who are opening a new shop this week, Rob.
That's exactly right. They certainly are. at
Where's that?
Mermaid Beach.
Mermaid Beach,
Yeah.
right next to the yard.
Yep. Chris will be wearing a mankini there on the weekend.
On what day? Both days or just the
That's
one?
a lie. It starts Friday.
Don't tell people that. No one will come, mate.
you wanna-
But you want people to turn up.
Yeah.
And Media8 Sports, who are the proud sponsors of a number of NBL 1 teams this year, Christopher.
Yeah, 3 in total. The season started last week. Went to a game. It was really good. Seahawks versus the Rollers.
2 of the teams we sponsor.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a good.
The win-win situation.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't lose. We couldn't lose. There was
Well, you can.
There was food and booze, and we couldn't. The result was going to go our way.
Oh, that's
Either
where the
way.
food question came from
Did you go,
originally.
Adam? Were you invited?
No, I didn't get invited.
Jeez.
Were you, Rob?
No, but I wouldn't have gone anyway.
Oh, okay. But it was interesting because they brought out 2 lots of food to the box. So they brought out like dim sims and no,
What?
there wasn't even dim
You
sims. They
tell
were
me
like
that.
gyozas and shit, wasn't it? And then we were drinking beer, and then later on they brought out sliders. It was like loving the
I'll
Seahawks.
tell you what, the
Skyhoses.
Seahawks do things well.
They do loving the Seahawks.
They had margaritas too.
They did.
They're doing things fancy, aren't they? Gyoza, isn't Gyoza just like a fancy dim sim?
Yeah, it's like a little bit
It's
flatter.
like a Japanese dumpling, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty
What the
much.
hell?
But they had them, and they had like a nice little sauce on. Oh,
It's
great.
Thai fish cakes too.
Yeah, they did. They were a bit spicy.
How do you know they're a Thai fish cake? What's the difference between a Thai fish cake?
They had
and
like a
just-
little long black thing on them.
Oh, no. Get him off. Someone.
Thank you very much.
Someone.
On that note,
$5.
Did you? That happened to me last week. Remember?
oh yeah, we're at some function with the UK government and businesses from the Gold Coast, and his phone went off.
That
It was
little
like-
little less conversation with Elvis Presley. My wife was
he
ringing me.
couldn't find it.
Couldn't get it.
And it was
fucking
why-
trying to turn it off
That's
here.
why they were talking like
I've seen
the honourable blah blah
Consul
blah.
General.
And this idiot's trying to find his phone. Thank God I was on the other side of the room going, oh,
Who would do that?
oh, that's appalling.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's so much fun when it doesn't happen to you and you can watch someone else fumbling around.
Oh, mate. And you literally, I'm going like, I couldn't. Oh.
See, I think it's happened to me once, and I just sit there and I just
Pretend it's
I
like
just
you.
look round like
Turn your
is that-
phone off,
Love
you
it.
idiot.
Yeah.
See, if that was me, I would have rung Brett straight back. Seen him on the other side of the room. If I was Chris, I'd ring him again. See if it happened again.
I thought he was nice.
No, he's a bunt.
He's a bunt. Oh, that's funny. What's happening in cricket this week, mate? Anything exciting?
Oh, they've just finished up their one-day series over there in India.
There we go.
2-1. They won. They got a win.
Wow.
So
That's because the greatest captain in Australian history
wow,
was the
I'll-
captain of the team.
Ashton Agar.
Yeah.
He's not the
He was actually playing.
He did. He won in the game, the
He
last
did.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Best spin bowler.
Western Australia continue their domination.
yeah, they're just too good at the moment. It's funny with the Western Australians. You kind of get these.
Is that the Shield?
Yeah, and the Big Bash
And
so
everything.
They're
The
just
one-dayers,
at the
the
moment they're just better cricketers than the East Side. So I don't
West
know.
side is better.
So it's kind of sort of early 90s as well. It was the same thing. They had this generation of cricketers that just came through: Justin Langer, Damien Martin, Tom Moody, Joe Angel, Brendan Julian. Just
Sounds like the Australian team.
We had
well,
players
basically
like,
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they, at one stage I think they had 7 players in the Australian side.
I think when Australia played Australia A, they had like 10 across both.
Oh, really?
I mean, there was a time when Adam Gilchrist moved across the country because he couldn't get a game in Perth.
No, he couldn't get a game in.
Couldn't get a game
Oh,
in South
Wales.
Wales.
Well, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
why he went to
He
the-
just went across the country.
It was a long way.
I'm going home.
So what's the dominance for? Is it because they're over there and no one?
I don't know. I don't.
Better
I
coaches?
don't have it. No, I just
Better
think it's
than
just,
the Queensland
I think it's just
coaches, or-
cyclical. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Probably better than the Queensland
You like that,
coaches who walked into that. Just walked me into that.
Straight
Boom.
into it. So now what happens? They come back from India
Yeah,
and they get a bit of a break
bit
now.
of a break, and then
the Ashes is
they've
that
got the
next?
Ashes in first Ashes test is
Mid-June,
early
isn't
June.
it? Yeah.
Any chance to get us some tickets?
Well, you're not going to get. You got to get, mate. You got to mortgage your house to get over there. There's the prices of air flights to get to.
You told me you're going there. Didn't you?
I did. I mortgaged my house.
So what do they do now, between now and the Ashes? Do they train? Do they just rest?
Well, they'll
just a
need
bit
a
of a break?
rest. I mean, they've been pretty active for the last. They had the whole Australian season.
Yep.
Then they've gone straight there. And tours of India are sort of well known to be pretty taxing. So they'll need a rest, and they're going to have to go and prepare. Having just toured India, the conditions in England couldn't be more alien to those ones in India. So they're going to have to go and practice the swinging ball rather than the spinning ball. So
Because there was a bit of controversy, something about Steve Smith's going to go over and play a few games for one of the counties.
yeah, for Sussex,
and they're saying, why are they letting him do that?
that's crazy. That would never happen in Australia, as you would never
Oh,
let.
no.
Imagine an Australian side letting Joe Root come and have a few games for.
Just to get used to the environment, and especially the
They'd
best batsman in
probably
the
let
world.
him in like one of the Sydney comps.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's not
not
first
the-
class.
yeah, exactly, like one step
yeah, they
lower.
would. Yeah.
What was the payment system you used to remortgage your house?
Deft. Has anyone heard of Deft? Have you heard of
Yeah,
Deft?
I have.
Yeah, well, you're a banker. You don't count.
Oh, I can.
Deft.
DEFT.
DEFT. Have you heard of it?
I've heard the acronym. I don't know what it
This
is.
is not an ad, by the way.
No, it's not. It's just a conversation that Chris and I are having before. I pay my rent through this Deft thing,
Yeah.
and I'd never heard of it before. It's just turned into the biggest shambles. Apparently, well, Chris looked it up, and in the first paragraph, it had mentioned easy,
Yeah, and simple.
simple, and all these.
5 times on the
Should be good
homepage.
for
And
you.
it,
It's easy and simple.
it is the opposite, the exact opposite.
So what used to happen? You walk in and just hand over cash. Can't do that shit.
Yeah,
anymore.
that's the other option.
Oh, is it?
So correct me if I'm wrong, but
But
the
they don't
two
do
options, the two,
Yeah, they don't take cash.
They don't do
no,
change.
they don't do change. So the correct me if I'm wrong, but if I was to normally pay something, I think my two options is your telegraphic transfer,
Yep.
or credit card.
Yeah.
They don't take either of those.
Oh, wow. So they take Deft and they take
Deft
cash.
or cash or
And
drive.
BPay.
Well, a lot of people
No,
don't.
they don't take BPay.
They don't take BPay
They
anymore.
don't take
Wow.
BPay.
Because that's how I pay my, I don't know, body corporate, I think.
A lot of people don't take cash anymore. Either.
This is an interesting sports show, though.
It's such a good sports show.
I just wanted to wind him up because
Hey,
he
Oh,
came and
fired
bitched
up.
to me for about 15
Rob,
minutes about
yes.
that.
Why'd you turn the lights off at the Gabba this week?
It wasn't me. But I'll tell you what, it was bloody funny. it was hilarious.
What happened?
Well, the lights went out.
They
Bloody
used,
hell.
they used,
Gee,
they,
there we go.
They used Deft
Hadn't paid their
to pay
electricity
the
bill.
bill.
Deft
There
payment
was
didn't
the
work.
There goes that sponsorship. Thanks, boys.
There was the biggest almighty boom, and it sounded like a gunshot.
Yeah.
And
Did you duck?
I was at the other end of the ground for me. I felt
Wasn't a
pretty
sniper.
safe.
Did
Sitting
they
in
all?
the-
Did they
Sitting
all
in the
go out?
box seats.
Well, this was the weirdest thing, right? Like all the light towers went out, but there was one bank of the lights underneath
Yeah, for the crowd.
for the stand, and that stayed on, and the electronic scoreboard stayed on, and the advertising on the side of the
So
ground
that lit it up a bit.
that lit it up. But the players all went off. They had a break for 40 minutes.
you
They
probably
came
weren't
back.
affected up in the fancy seats anyway.
I'll tell you what. I know how the Hollioakes of the world live now, don't I?
Yeah.
Sit in
With
the
your
fancy
lobster
seats.
rolls and your moat.
No, there was. They didn't have any. You couldn't buy a meat pie where I was sitting.
All the meat pies were cold.
Dumplings.
Dumpling.
Cold dumplings. The
I
power
don't
went
know,
off.
cold. I didn't
No,
eat
they'd be
any of them.
steamed.
No,
What,
but the
Steve?
power's not on. Like, you're hitting it
Nah,
up.
they would have been. The power would have been on.
Gas.
Yeah.
Oh, hot jam donuts. I bought some hot jam donuts while I was in there.
Were
No,
they
the
as
power
good
was
as the
on.
MCG ones?
No, actually, we should have gone on that. You go to the MCG before.
Hot
I
jam
can't
donuts.
believe I didn't mention. But you don't buy them at the MCG. You buy them at the front.
Oh, still bloody good.
Oh, they're brilliant.
Technicality.
No, the ones inside aren't as good as the ones
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
And if you really want them, you go to South Melbourne. Not South Melbourne. Vic Markets.
Better.
Oh,
Be-
ones
Best
at
jam
South-
donut on the
The
planet.
ones at South Melbourne aren't too bad either.
they're not too bad. South Melbourne dim Sims too.
So did you hear the big news in the NRL this week?
The bloke left to go to the rugby union.
No, the mighty Manly Seagulls coach fell asleep in a Macca's.
Oh, I thought you said Jay.
I thought he fell asleep during the game.
No, it was in a
Because
Macca's.
they lost the game. I thought he might have fallen
They did,
asleep.
but they did that on purpose because obviously the famous John Sattler passed away and it was a pay of respects.
By sleeping.
No, that was
By
why they
losing.
lost.
Oh, I lose.
Adam, come on.
But how's that? Yeah, Seabold's had a couple and fallen asleep in a Macca's and then got his
Move
photo
on.
taken.
It's hard. It's not even a story.
But why is it the news? I don't get
Oh,
it.
because Sydney are
Biggest
fucking
news in
idiots.
NRL.
Well, last night the AFL news was that Alistair Clarkson got too animated on the boundary line when they won. He was too happy.
I'll tell you
Getting
what
in trouble
I'll
for
tell you
being
what
happy.
I'll tell you what the news is. The news is that people out there need to get a life because if I'm sitting there videoing a bloke sleeping
At
at
Macca's.
McDonald's or commenting on someone being too animated.
Too excited. They'd had a win by a point. You know, a big unexpected win, and he got too
So
excited.
I was sort of when my career was going, it was before social media. Obviously, I think it was before the
That's
advent.
probably a good thing, wasn't it?
Before the advent of phones, I think, and mobile phones. But anyway,
Electricity.
we were we were playing a test match against Australia. I think it was the 6th test match of the 97 series. And we had a phone booth. First there was a pay phone. We had to put coins in that you could ring. And there was a phone that was an internal phone for the ground. So you could actually ring up the Oval, ring the reception, say, can you put me through to the home change room or the away change room? Anyway, so I was sitting there and the phone started ringing. So usually you just let it ring. But I thought, I'm going to answer it. So I answered it, and this was this lady on the phone. She was like, hello. I said, hi. She said, I'm watching the cricket. I said, that's good to hear, love. She said, I'm watching the cricket, and Michael Atherton, he's sitting on there, and he's chewing gum, and it's ruining my day. So I was like, I've got to be on candid camera, surely. So I'm like, she goes, can you tell him to stop? I said, no, this is my second test match. I said, he's the captain. I'm not telling him to stop. She goes, it's ruining my day. I said, well, change the channel then. Watch something else. Watch Antique Roadshows on the other channel. Surely that was a legit. That happened.
It wouldn't happen today.
No.
How can it? No, you can't. You got no
Well,
chance.
she's dead, probably.
So she just rang through to the change rooms.
Just ran through changes.
It happened at the Gabba once.
So you
'cause
can
the Gabba's the world famous.
Let's have a go.
So many
Let's see if
things.
we can ring.
Let's have a go this week. Let's
Yeah.
see if
we can ring.
So many things have to happen. Like obviously, she's called the switchboard.
they just put you through. It was easy then.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
If we call the front desk of the MCG,
Yeah.
they're not gonna fucking.
I reckon we have a go this week. We've got to have a go.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Can
said
you put me
four-
through to the home
four
side
different
change rooms?
games.
Okay.
Let's
do
see
it.
who can get through.
Well, at the Gabba a few years ago, you know the coach's box, how they have the phones that connected to the interchange bench. Malcolm
Why
Blight-
have they always been the handheld phones?
I don't know.
Why don't they wear like a headset?
I don't know.
Oh,
When
no.
Malcolm Blight picks up the phone, it goes through to the front desk of the Lions. So the lady, at
Wrong
the front,
number.
lady at the front desk of the Lions, she goes, you got the front desk. How do I get the front desk? Hangs up, picks up the phone, does it again. You still got the front desk.
He thinks he's talking to the box.
He thinks
Yeah.
he's talking to the box, and he's talking to
Oh,
the lady
bad
at the front
connection.
desk.
Wow.
Cross line.
Well, and you wonder why the power goes out of this joint. We're going to have
But I'll
the
tell you
Olympics there.
what,
Handles.
all they're going to do is paint it now for the Olympics. They're not going to redo it, they reckon.
Nah, they've got to.
Was
Who
on the
was
news
that?
yesterday.
Yeah, someone said they just need to lick
The head of
paint.
the Olympic Committee said, don't need to knock that down. You can save yourself, what, $2 billion?
2.7.
Just give it a paint.
Yeah, not going
Or the
to.
Gabba.
Yeah,
What, you think they're going to knock it down?
Yeah,
that they're supposed to.
after the Ashes.
It's a great stadium.
Are you serious?
Well, I don't know
Have
as
you
much.
knocked your
I
head?
don't feel quite as passionate about
Okay.
it as that. But,
You didn't turn the lights out this week, bud.
well, you don't like it.
Well, I
Spends-
trust your
spends
Wow,
every
use
waking
your words,
moment
come on.
there.
use your
Every
words, Rob.
wanking moment.
But
Wakey.
I know you've been
Wow.
to many stadiums and you've participated in sport of these stadiums.
Mason's Cricket.
But
Name drop.
for the average punter, the Gabba is a shithole.
You're not the average punter.
I am
You're
the average
sitting up there in
punter.
your carpeted, cushy seats.
I know they're pretty good too.
Yeah, fuck.
But you can't get into the place. You can't get out of the place. You can't
Yeah,
walk around the
granted.
place.
But okay, how I know you're a massive, probably Brisbane's biggest supporter. How long have you been watching games at the Gabba?
Is that a fat joke?
Jeez.
32 years. We'll just ignore these.
How
dates.
much has it improved in those 32 years?
It hasn't improved.
Hasn't.
Since 1996 was the last redevelopment.
You told me you ate dumplings there last weekend.
Yeah, that's in the area for the good people.
What's the area called, Rob?
area VIP. Yeah, that's all right. You got
Look, he starts whinging and then now that's
No,
for
no,
the little
but-
people.
that is for the little people. I'm trying to stick up for the little people here.
How would you improve it?
Knock it down. Quite easy.
It's
Start
beyond
again.
help,
And
you
spend,
reckon?
Oh, it's beyond the-
spend 2.7 billion.
Well, if you're going to
Pay our
if they
dollars.
weren't having the Olympics there, I wouldn't worry about
So
it. but,
32 years ago, was there a dog track still around it?
No,
yes.
not then. Not
Yeah, 91.
No, well, there's been a renovation since then because I played there in '96, and I reckon I played there in '98, and there was that pub over in the corner over there. I think there was 2 renovations. There was the dog track, which I never saw. I saw it on tally because I was
Yeah,
a
the
kid.
dog track left in about 93.
Yeah, and then I reckon the next bit must have been post
A new stand or
between
something, was it?
'96 and '99. I reckon,
Yeah, maybe it was around then.
because I
But it
played
hasn't
in
been-
'96, and there was
Was
a
this
pub
an
there.
operational dog track?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Gabba
Back
Race.
in the day, it was Gabba races.
We used to
yeah.
have, when I was umpiring, we had tribunal hearings in Gabba Towers, and we used to sit there while we were waiting, and we picked the colours of the dogs while we were waiting to go in. And do
What
the
would always
tribunal.
win?
Oh, the yellow dog.
Yeah,
Squeeze dog, mate.
please so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, it was good. It was good fun there.
I just got that.
Oh dear.
Anyway, moving on. So, I've got some random facts for you.
Oh.
Right, I like
love
my random
random
sports facts. Scottie Pippen blew $120 million. Every cent he made, he's blown.
Oh,
He
really?
wouldn't be alone there.
No. What was Tyson's?
400.
400. Pfft, Scotty's got nothing.
Well, yeah,
Literally.
but
And
and
Scotty-
I think Tyson did it in a way shorter time. He's taken at least
Well-
almost got himself to his deathbed. Like he's
Scotty,
Howard
only
Scotty.
got real money, or like the money he really deserved,
Towards the end of his career,
at
didn't he?
Portland after he left the Bulls. Side note,
yeah, but he's not.
Did you
he-
hear-
He's not at Centrelink before that.
no,
but-
but
I don't think he is now, to be fair.
did you hear Scottie Pippen's missus has been bragging about they used to have sex 4 times a night for 23 years or something?
No wonder he's tired.
Is this the same bird that's now with Michael Jordan's
Sounds
son?
Yeah,
exhausting.
yeah.
So Michael Jordan's son is now dating his ex-wife.
What about John
Imagine
Daly?
if they had kids. How good that. Oh no, that would have to be Michael Jordan's son and Scottie Pippen. Well, how good the kid would be.
And they couldn't have
I
kids
got the
'cause
family
there's two
tree wrong.
boys.
Yeah, I know. I got the family tree
What
wrong. a
about
bit
John
there.
Daly? How many times has he gone to rock bottom and then
Oh, I know, he's lost a lot, hasn't he?
A lot.
he was selling T-shirts out the back of a caravan at one
No,
stage?
he said he's blown 50-something million at the casino. I don't know what he's blown in poor investments, but he said he's given the casino 50 million.
50 mil. Whew, big night. Major League Baseball umpires are required to wear black underwear whilst on the job in case they split their pants. Did you know that?
Good rule.
Random fact.
If I was
Good rule.
behind the plate, that umpire, I'd have to wear them to just in case I shat my pants.
Jesus.
Come on.
But how,
There's a fucking
Jesus.
visual I didn't
Oh.
need.
but you see them, they pitch
You
it
can
at
see
100
Rob
miles an
sitting
hour.
there. Batter up.
You look a bit like a Major League Baseball ref when you did that.
Thank you very much.
They throw
That's
the ball at
That's
100
an,
miles
that's an
an hour.
umpire, not a ref.
Oh yeah, whatever.
And a fat joke. Fuck.
They throw the ball at 100 mile an hour. It snips the bat. It goes straight at the umpire's head.
He's got a face mask.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, that's
Basketball legend Wilt Chamberlain never fouled out of a game. Did you know that?
No. Going back to the baseball.
But,
sorry.
it was
You know,
harder to get fouled at back then, right?
What about
At
baseball?
one stage during the World Baseball Classic, 97% of Japanese households or TVs were switched on to the final.
Get out.
97%.
And they beat the US,
They
didn't
beat
they?
America, yeah. And
That's
it was
massive.
Good
like
on 'em.
it was like a
That's
movie.
huge.
Like there was the best American player was batting and the best Japanese pitcher was pitching at the end of the game,
yeah.
at the bottom of the
Trout,
ninth or
Trout
whatever.
versus Otani.
Exactly, and their teammates in
That's the
America.
only time
Can't
ever
make
that's
it
going to
up.
actually
Yeah.
happen.
Yep.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
amazing.
How much do you reckon Trout had on Japan to win the title?
Don't know. We went down swinging.
Dallas Cowboys, we can name drop here because we've been here, hired the NFL's first professional cheerleading squad in 1972. When we were at the Dallas Cowboys, we didn't go into the players' change rooms, we went into the cheerleaders' change
Or
rooms.
went into both.
It was really interesting.
But when we're at the game, they've
Was that by choice or
I was just part of the tour.
do you want to come and meet the players? No, cheerleaders.
yeah. At halftime in the game that we were there, we were there for the Dallas Cowboys versus Tennessee Titans. They brought out all of the cheerleaders from all the other years. So
Everyone that was still alive.
so they're like, here's the team from 1988 and all the old and They went for.
They're still wearing the cheerleading
Oh,
gear.
yeah.
Oh,
I've actually been to
I don't know if I want to see that. Like,
I went to a
I'll tell
college
you what,
game.
2023 was all right.
Yeah, 2016 was a good year too.
Yeah, great year.
you
I
could
went
say
to a
something
college
like
game,
they've improved. They've improved. They're better now than they used to be.
They did that in a college game for homecoming weekend,
Oh, did they?
and they had the oldest one was 90.
Yeah, but that's like this was,
That's
insanely.
But they did a routine.
Yeah, all of them,
Did
and
they
they
really?
like did the.
Wow.
It was really good.
That
Really,
looked
really
like
good.
Adam's
Karate
karate basketball.
Okay, this is another interesting one. The
Hong Kong
home team in an NFL game must supply 36 footballs.
and inflate them to whatever pressure
Tom
they
Brady
want.
says.
Yeah, 36.
36 footballs. Wonder why that is.
Because
Any
if they
ideas?
get kicked in the stands, I
Well,
guess they get kept.
Yeah, I think if they get kicked in, and then when
Do you
they,
keep them in?
They don't.
NFL?
They don't get kicked in. They've got net.
if you get
Well,
a
they got nets
touchdown,
and
you get
shit.
to keep them. Don't you?
Well, somebody got Tom Brady's. Remember they?
Yeah, he threw it to him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's thrown it, then realised what he'd done.
What an idiot.
And then
Ask
they
for it
gave
back.
him, like that ball, that was for the record. And then that ball would be worth like bazillions. He swapped him for a pair of shoes and a photo or
I
something.
think Bitcoin as well.
Oh, was it? There you go. That went well. Anyway, footy tips. You ready?
How'd we go last week? Oh,
I think we've gone pretty shit, to be fair. I'll tell you what, though. I think I'm leading the local card shop.
Well, I'm pretty high up in the AFL one. I've given up on the league one, and
You've given up.
my phone.
Is
died.
that because you're...
I dropped my phone yesterday, so I don't have any access to this.
So last week I had 5 from 9.
Mm-hmm.
And in the local card shop tipping comp, I'm coming 6th of 27.
Oh, and that's rugby league.
Are you rocking horse
That's
road?
in... no, I'm BJ Manger. That's the...
Have you got two?
what?
Is there two BJ Maccas in the tipping?
There's 2 different leagues.
There's 16. You're on 16, my friend.
So it's 6 of 27. Unless that's this week. Yeah, me. I'm on 11 points.
You're a week behind or 2.
Nah. You're smoking crack.
I got you on
11? Is AFL?
8. Oh no, NRL.
Oh,
Okay.
AFL.
All right, we'll start with AFL then.
I'm coming second in that, I think.
So am I. 22nd.
Okay, Western Bulldogs, Brisbane Lions.
Ooh. Lions.
Lions. No, don't tip against my team.
Yeah, I'll give you Lions as well. Collingwood, Richmond.
Collingwood. Geez, they look good.
Collingwood are going well, aren't they?
Tigers.
Just to be different.
No. I'm going to put my tips in
Collingwood.
now.
Hawthorn, North Melbourne. It's got to be North.
Nah, they won last week.
Who North?
Yeah.
But
And the Hawks got beat by nearly 100 from the Swans.
Hawthorn are possibly the worst team I've seen.
Ever?
Yeah, I'm going to say North Melbourne.
Yeah, I'm going with North.
GWS, Carlton.
Carlton.
What's happened to GWS? They're going in the
Carlton.
shitter, haven't they?
Well, they lost their 2 best midfielders. They went to Richmond.
Probably well, they're going well.
Yeah.
St Kilda, Essendon.
What a game.
Essendon.
Effington.
Are we writing these down, or is it just?
Oh,
Oh, you're
yeah.
doing them
I'm
as
doing
we
them as
speak.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
doing it as we
yeah.
speak. And then we'll just say you got 3 every week.
Port, Adelaide. The
Yeah.
Adelaide.
Who they
What do they
playing?
call it? Port
The showdown.
versus
Showdown.
Adelaide.
The showdown.
Have we had?
It's got to be
We
Port.
haven't had one of these since you went over to Adelaide, have we? Did we?
No. Don't want to talk about
Let's
it.
talk about that.
Yeah, how'd the Lions go?
Let's go for
The
them.
Lions had a problem that week.
They were playing well in the
How'd
third
you
quarter.
go when you faced Shane Warne, by the way? Yeah, they played well for about 30 minutes.
How'd you
then got
go
smashed.
against Monty Beatham?
Gold Coast, Geelong.
Geelong, the greatest team of all.
They haven't won a
I'm
game
going
yet.
Gold Coast. They're going to win
That's
the
what
game.
the song says, mate, and songs
going
never lie.
Yeah, they do.
Gold Coast? You're a Gold Coast fan, aren't you?
Ish. I'm kind of.
Ish.
Well, yeah. I am,
Or
but-
Geelong, you could be as well, I suppose.
Well, I did Geelong.
Isn't
yeah.
there a park in Geelong or something named after
It's
you?
in Ballarat.
Oh, it's close.
And it's not. I claim it to be mine, but it's actually my uncle's. I say Hollioake Park, and they go, "Oh, is that park named after you in Ballarat?" I said, "Yeah,
Of course it is.
So it's
sure."
the family. Come on.
Absolutely.
Melbourne, Sydney. Oh, that's going to be a good game of footy.
Oh, it's an easy one.
Sydney's going to
Melbourne.
shit it in.
Melbourne by
Where
10.
it's in Melbourne.
Yeah.
At the G.
Yeah.
One
Sydney
can't
play
win
the Sydney play the G well unless
They
it's
do.
in
that. Not in the
September.
grand final, yeah.
Yeah,
Freo, West Coast. Is that called a showdown as well?
No,
that's called Derby.
I'm going Freo.
Yeah, I'm with you.
What are the Freo who?
Shitfish.
What?
Freo shitfish. That's what I thought they should have been called.
Why?
Because have you been to Fremantle?
Yeah.
This
Shit
shit
fish.
fish.
Hello to all my
That's the
friends out
best.
there. in
We
Footy.
So,
should,
but what would your mascot look like?
Like a fish that's shit.
Just a brown fish?
Yeah.
Like a poo emoji.
What
but
does their
shaped
what does
as
their
a
what does their
fish.
mascot look like now?
What's it? It's
Best.
it's like a
shit fish.
big faced thing that has an anchor on it.
Mm.
You don't want to know what I wanted to call Port Adelaide, but anyway.
Yeah, we do.
No. Paps me.
Weak
The
gutted
Papsmies.
weak gutted dogs.
So that's next week's introduction. Is what you would actually the alternate name to your favourite
I
footy
think that
teams.
would be good. I think we should do that.
We
but
will.
We should like
Let's
do,
put that on.
Rob should do the AFL.
The Port
We'll
Adelaide
do that.
Paps me.
Well, we could call them. That's a great idea. So in the NRL, I got 3 from 8. I shit
I'm
myself.
struggling in the
I think.
NRL.
I got 6.
Yeah, Smokes is a
I got 6-2 last week, but I've been shit the other week.
Local Carter, I'm coming 16th of 40.
yeah, I think
Are you coming
I'm
last?
37th, I reckon.
37.
I'm actually killing it.
Rob from LCS is coming 32nd.
Yeah,
Which
no
one are you?
doubt.
Where
Oh,
are
your
you?
fins up.
I'm fins up, yeah.
You're
Ends up
35th.
35th. You gone up a spot.
Bang.
But 2 points behind me, though.
Okay, so tips this week. Roosters,
Oh, yeah.
Para.
I know nothing about
That's got to be the Roosters.
Para.
Rooters.
Raiders, Penrith.
Panthers.
Yeah, Penrith.
Yeah, the Penrith penny pinchers.
Sydney, what are they called? Rabbits versus the Storm. Fuck, the Storm are bad at the minute, aren't
They're
they?
terrible, aren't they?
I'm picking the Storm.
Oh, really?
Mighty Manly Seagulls versus the Newcastle Flogs.
Manly.
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 Dragons, Dolphins.
You
Could be
told
the
me I had to tip Manly.
Fins up, baby.
Dolphins, yeah.
Nah, Dragons.
Ooh.
There you go.
Go Dolphins.
Dolphins have lost their halfback, and they
Yeah.
bought in Milford.
Yeah, that's all right.
Scary. Bronx,
The Drongos.
Tigers.
The Brisbane Drongos.
So I actually reckon
The Broncos.
this
are
could be the
rock.
Tigers' week.
Ah, you're,
Nah,
Come off
What
it.
price?
you are
What
concussed.
price?
At $5.50.
Literally.
Nah, so nah.
Your head's in
Nuts,
Your
eh?
head is in
If
Madison
it was
Square Garden
$11,
still.
yeah, I would consider it back.
Yeah,
then.
no, I picked the Brisbane. Bite me.
it's maybe
Sharkies, New Zealand. Got to be Sharkies.
Sharks.
How
Dogs.
good's your cousin?
Dog.
on the weekend?
Hey,
Hey,
my cousin's fiance's husband's wife.
47th cousin or something.
We had this one.
We did have this the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Bulldogs, North Queensland.
I've gone North Queensland.
I'm go-
Is it in Belmore?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tapping the dog.
It's at Acor.
Oh.
What's Acor?
That's
Yeah,
the old
the
Olympic,
Olympic
Stadium in
Oh, yeah.
Sydney.
Ah,
Shit stadium. I'm going North Queensland.
That's had more names than I've had hot dinners, that place. And I've had a lot of hot dinners.
Yeah, it has had a few names.
Would never pick that.
Just a lot of dinners, full stop.
Wasn't there 2 ANZ stadiums in Sydney at one stage?
Yeah, there was. Who fed their team the most try assist in 2022? Either Luke Keary or Cody Walker.
Cody Walker.
Cody Walker.
Yeah.
I'm going Keary.
Alan Langer.
Titans got the ball.
Titans should win this week. They should pick up 2 points.
Keary, 21.
Oh.
Booyah. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm going to shut up. What do you got for us, Christopher?
That'll be a first. No, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Nah.
I'm looking
Well,
for
supposed
Where
to have
are we
something.
this Saturday?
Do
you remember?
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast Rollers.
a local card.
Oh, Gold Coast Rollers, yeah.
Gold Coast Rollers NBL 1 against Ipswich Force, the
Yeah.
other team that we sponsor.
Yeah, that'd be big.
So the Rollers
There's only 3 teams in this competition, if people are wondering.
there's not
Sponsor
actually.
roll.
It goes all the way up to
Darwin.
Darwin.
Yeah, no, true.
The Salties.
Yeah. So that's it. We're not going on. Oh, we should do a road trip.
Fuck that.
Let's go with Jez. He'll drive.
We could do that.
Jez is actually driving up to Darwin.
Jesse.
No.
It's 37 hours.
Yeah.
I said, what are you doing that for? And he goes, to go camping.
Has he heard of South Stradbroke?
Or an
Right.
aeroplane.
Has he
Or
heard
your
of a
back
frame?
line.
Fraser?
Oh,
Yeah.
we mapped it out. In the time that he takes to get to his last stop, I believe, I could be in Spain
Easy.
if we left at the same time.
37
Easy.
hours.
Yeah.
You could,
You could walk to
you could go to Spain and back almost.
Well, no, you
insanity.
can't. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
If you got good connections, you're there and almost halfway back.
Yeah, we're not all connected like you.
Yeah, we're not flying private jets.
Jeez.
Rob might be because he sits in the comfy
Yeah,
seats,
yeah.
remember?
I know.
VIP, yeah.
Area VIP. That's me. I'll take some.
So the
photos.
NBL 1's on this week. What do you got, Rob?
Not much.
No
Oh, no,
lines?
I do have something big.
What's
this
your
week.
big?
It's Oscar Piastri, Australian Grand Prix debut.
Yeah, what that Sunday?
Sunday, yeah. So Melbourne Park.
He runs really fast with those fake legs.
No, not.
Oscar Pistorius.
Is he out? He's out, I heard.
No, is he?
I heard he's coming out.
He's on the run.
What, he's gay?
Come on.
He's on the run.
No, as in like he's coming.
That's not bad.
He's coming out of jail. It's been that long. He's like his sentence is almost up.
Really?
Really?
I would never have picked that. What he obviously didn't get life
No, he
He
got
got 10 years.
11 years or something.
because it was an accident. The 37 gunshot wounds to the head was an accident.
Yeah.
Have you ever met him?
I haven't, no, but I've met some people. I fought in Dubai, and there was some guys that I met a guy. His name is, I can't remember. He was the fullback for South Africa, and he dated that Eva,
The blonde chick.
the
Steam camp.
yeah. So he dated her before, and he was actually they were still friends, and he also was, I wouldn't say a friend, but acquaintance of Oscar Pistorius. And apparently, according to him, of course, it's just on his opinion, not the greatest bloke, not a great bloke.
We got legless very often.
Hey?
Not a great bloke, apparently.
Really?
So that doesn't mean he did it. I mean, he did.
Well,
it.
he did it.
We definitely did it. There's no doubt about that. The bullets in the door says he did it. Was whether he did it with the
I
intention
reckon the
to
bullets in the bird probably more things that he did it. Yeah.
I think
You don't shoot at a door.
the thing is, what I would say is, I mean, and I'm not. I've lived in South Africa, and it's a very different. The security thing. It's you're really concerned. You're living on edge a little
Yeah, I
bit.
agree.
And for us here in Australia, there's guns are just alien. Over there, it's like kind of a normal way of life, and there's I just feel like there's a different attitude. I mean, for us over here, we see that we just go, oh, that's just outrageous. Who's got a gun in the house? Well, everyone in South Africa.
Yeah.
And they do. They feel there's a little bit of different disregard for life that we have. Fortunate to be in a country where we don't have those worries. We don't have the sort of poverty that they've got over there, and people are desperate to eat and break into your house.
Seems like there's some people out at the Gabba, just on the lower levels,
on the dim
but they can't actually get food. They're uncomfortable seats.
Very true. No padding on those seats.
Knock it down.
I've been there
Knock it down.
I've been there
once.
back in the day.
When there was a dog track around it.
The dog track was awesome.
So what do you got on this week, Smokes?
Not a lot.
You coaching?
None of us have got.
No, I've
It's gonna be a pretty relaxing weekend.
yeah. Well, we're coming into a bit of a quiet time for the Bulls. They're all doing their roundup of their season. They've got their meetings this week, and they'll have a couple of weeks off and then start reporting back. Then
So pretty chilled.
Yeah, pretty chilled from that perspective. I trained one of the guys at the gym. He had a big fight on the weekend, and I'd done a lot.
Did you get up?
No, he did the opposite of getting up. He got knocked out in the first round and broke his ankle falling while he.
Oh, on the way down.
Yeah. So bad night for him. So
It's really a bad day.
yeah, it's a bad night.
Terrible day.
Bad
So
night.
you're a worse boxing coach than you are a batting coach?
Well, my batting coaching's all right. My batting was shit. So
Well, those who can't coach, isn't that the way it works?
Well,
Rumour has it.
He claims Labuschagne, he claims Kawaja. So
He does, yeah. That's
claims
good
them.
claims.
It's easy if you say it quickly. I'm sure there's a few other people that might have contributed to their success.
we claim it for you.
Hey, thanks, mate.
No worries.
You guys always got my back.
Always, mate. Always. Well, it's been a good sports corner, boys.
It has been a great sports corner.
It's. I think it's a better format. Nice and short, sharp, sweet.
Yeah.
Next week, looking forward to your alternate names
I'm
for your favourite footy teams.
cannot wait for that.
I think that's the highlight of the next week's.
Especially when the Pap smear. I just want to hear a lot more about that one.
I'm looking forward to that payment system. Fucking
Def being our next
subpoenaing
sponsor.
us, yeah.
Who could they be?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll come up with a team. We'll call them the Defts.
Sounds good. Have a good week, boys. Go the Rollers.
Cheers, everyone.
Go everyone else.
Go the Lions.
Go everyone else. You're not cheering for the Rollers.
You're a prick. You really are.
Well, the other two that we support. Go
Ipswich Horse.
and Seahawks.
Oh, and the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to the Seahawks game. So.
Nice. The Media8 Sports Seahawks.